Hi, welcome to the demo of Budget Comparison Dashboard. It is a powerful tool designed by Perceptive Analytics for companies to assess their financial health and spot profitable or underperforming properties. We built this dashboard for a client in property management services industry. It is designed for the CFO and regional managers. Let's start by understanding how this dashboard is structured. It's divided into three parts: net income, income, and expenses. Net income is the final profit calculated as income minus expenses. Income is the actual revenue brought in by each property. And in the next section, we can see how much each property spent compared to its budget. At first, we can see net income by each property. This chart shows actual versus budget along with the percentage variance. Here, we can instantly see that many properties are drastically underperforming. The summary on the right confirms this. The total net income for the month is $303,000, which is 69% below the budget. That's a major shortfall. Now, to understand why net income is low, we need to ask, is it because we did not make enough money or because we spent too much? Let's look at the income section now. In this visual, properties that generated less revenue than the budget are shown in red, while those who exceeded their revenue targets are shown in green. We can observe that a few properties missed their revenue targets by over 20%, but when we scroll down, we can also find properties that actually did better, with over 30% more revenue than expected. To get the full picture, we'll look at the income summary on the right side. And here is the important part. Total income is actually 2% higher than the budgeted target. So it's clear that revenue is not the problem behind the low net income. Let's look at the expenses. In this visual, properties that spent more than budget are shown in red, and the ones that stayed within budget are shown in green. This expense chart shows clear overspending. Some properties have spent more than double their budgets. For instance, this property overspent by 406%. That's huge. On the right side, the expense summary shows total expenses at $1.91 million, while the budget was just $1.2 million. This is a 59% overshoot. The key contributor here is general building improvements, which alone overshot the budget by 5795%. Now let's focus on 808 Broadway Lofts. This is our biggest underperformer. It was budgeted to generate a profit of $16,000, but instead it reported a loss of $40,000. That's a negative variance of 352%, one of the worst across the board. Let's click here to select this property. Clicking here filters the dashboard to show data only for the selected property. Looking at the income section, we observe that 808 Broadway Lofts did quite well in terms of revenue. This property brought in $56,000, which is 12% more than it was budgeted. If we break it down and look at the income summary, we observe that rental income for this property was higher than expected. Free rent adjustment also exceeded expectations. So if the revenue is fine, then it must be an expense-related problem. And that's exactly what the expense view confirms. This property's budgeted expenses were around $34,000, but actuals cost a 185% overspend. Nearly every expense line item went over budget, especially building repairs, which were 260% above budget. This shows 808 Broadway Lofts did not fail to generate revenue, but they failed to control costs. In this case, the property manager should be contacted for a detailed review to understand why spending went so far beyond plan and how to fix them in next month. With this dashboard, regional managers can get a clear financial overview of all properties, quickly identify profitable and non-profitable assets, assess income statements for real-time insights, detect overspending early for precise budgeting and cost control. We are your trusted data analytics partner. If you need a similar dashboard or any other custom data solution, then get in touch with us today